Testing one, two, three. Testing one, two, three. Let's do it.
Yeah. God is dawn in a chariot. Where she at? There she is. Use your third eye, then look up high. Sun is rising. No more good night. It's time to take flight. Don't be uptight. Like and subscribe. Comment something nice. It's love in this light. High vibration. Here's God is dawn. Get information.
Welcome, 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 or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. It is, I guess, technically Sunday morning, 1 a.m. in LA. What's up, Deshaun? um, Listen, I'm a night owl, so I'm here because I have some things to say. I was watching some videos on YouTube, and I am so sick of this whole narrative. Oh, power. Okay, thanks for letting me know that. I forgot about that. It comes on the night early, right? Sometimes on the app. Anyway, listen, I saw some videos that it compelled me to come live today to talk about R. Kelly and, how he's not Jesus. He ain't. So stop with that narrative. Um, before I get into that, I just want to thank you all who are here. Ooh, 3 a.m. almost, Lisa. What you doing up 3 o'clock in the morning? Thank you for being here, though. Um, I appreciate you guys. If you're one of my people, one of my subbies, welcome back. I appreciate you a lot. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Stay a while, get to know me a little bit. And if you're just a lurker slash hater slash R. Kelly fan, hi. And you know what? I really receive you being here as love too. So even though you don't agree with me, I appreciate you too. You fuel me in the sense that you're letting me know that there's still a lot more work to do out here and a lot more love to give. There's people in this world who will pretend to be a friend, pretend to care, pretend to be family, but at the end of the day, the only thing they're trying to do is get to the bag. So I'm only trying to make sense, you know, only trying to make a name for themselves. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here again because I saw some videos, people who support R. Kelly, and they want to stick with this narrative that he's like Jesus, being persecuted unjustly. He's being kidnapped, um, and he's in jail illegally. So I just can't get my mind wrapped around the people who say these things and they ignore the facts that are out there that are on the table and the fact that he's actually in jail because they have enough at this point to keep him there. Hold on, I'm looking at my notes because anyway, like I said, R. Kelly's not Jesus, so stop it with that narrative. He's not being unjustly persecuted. He's being held accountable. All of the accusations are about him, quote unquote, having sex with groupies. But what we're talking about is not having sex with groupies. We're talking about rape. We're talking about sexual abuse. We're talking about sexual abuse with minors. We're talking about STDs and knowingly giving STDs. We're talking about physical abuse, coercion, racketeering, sex tape after sex tape with minor after minor. This is a grown man that picked up girls from middle schools and McDonald's. Oh yeah, they're comparing him to Jesus. They're saying that like Jesus, this is what's happening. This is not what's happening. Okay? So, you guys, they want to say the groupies, they're actually the groupies. These people who are defending him without prejudice, without looking at any of the evidence or looking at any of the information, even. There's a whole book of 20 years of things. And we're not just talking allegations, we're talking payouts We're talking hush money. We're talking police reports that had gone ignored. Um, and we're talking many girls slash women at this point. Um, give me 1 second, just get my thoughts together. You can't dismiss the allegations because he was rich and he is famous. You can't justify the allegations because you were an actual enabler. Some of these people out here talking on YouTube, they're enablers themselves. They are enablers, and they're either trying to, make sure they're good. They don't want to be pulled into it. So they're going to go out there and they're going to stomp for him. They're going to, they're going to rally for him because they want to keep him. As long as they keep him good, they're going to be themselves good. But that's not going to help you guys. Matter of fact, I think it's actually hurting R. Kelly for these people to be making these YouTube videos. They got documentaries that they're putting out. They have books, and I don't even think the books that are things that they already had going on before he was even locked up. But they're out here parading their merch around. They're making money. These YouTube videos, they don't. For me at least, R. Kelly videos don't make me a lot of money. However, people are making money, and yes, they all need to go down, all of them, and even you know even though as a parent, I don't like to parent bash, but some of the parents also are complicit. Not all, there's some that are actually really vocal, and I'm not talking about them. I'm just talking about the girls who were caught up with R. Kelly at young ages, and they were able to do it for long periods of time without any interference. As a parent, where are you? But we're not even talking about that right now because we're beyond that. Some of these fans are making it their mission to bully and harass some of these women, which is disgusting and should be illegal if it's not. They're also dismissing Aaliyah by saying that she's not alive to defend herself, which is straight bullshit. If she's not alive to defend herself, that doesn't mean that he did not marry her when she was 15 and was grooming her even before that, 14 years old. I actually read or heard she was in the studio with him as young as 12 years old. So, there is a grooming process. This is a thing. You understand? The girl's name who's fought. Oh, Rashana. You're talking about Landfair, Rashana Landfair. I'm going to get to her. They also say, oh, Aaliyah denied it in an interview. Okay, that's also bullshit. What did you expect her to do? She was on the rise in an industry that R. Kelly was part of, a gatekeeper of, or he was actually, a big deal in. He was already a name, already established. Stop it. You think she's going to go out there and tell the world when they had already had the annulment sealed? I'm sure there was some type of agreement. I think that her mom even got his royalties for I Believe I Can Fly. I think. I don't, I just know that there were dealings, backdoor dealings. Okay? Yeah, R. Kelly is not God, and I don't hate him either, but at the end of the day, he needs to be held accountable for the things that he's done. Okay? So where he is now is part of that process, and that process needs to play out. Period, the end. There was a friend of his, or whatever enabler, whatever you want to call him. I think Tasha K actually mentioned him in one of her exposés because he brought up the fact that she got him harassed by people for doing that. But what he said is that this is spiritual now, and he said this live on YouTube earlier. This is spiritual now. Nah, bro, this has been spiritual. When R. Kelly was violating these girls, when he was doing the devil's work, that was part of a spiritual warfare. We are still in a spiritual battle. We've been in a spiritual battle, but it's coming to a head right now. I call this period revelations because people are being called out. This has been happening for the past couple years with the side chicks. Yeah, sex trafficking. He's doing all of that. He was doing all of that. But this is a spiritual warfare. And guess what? God is at work now. God is at work now, okay? Your reign is over. This is the period of time. Even, I'm a intuitive, and I'm into the astrology of everything. And this period of time is a time, especially starting this month, I believe. We're coming out of a new moon phase, and the moon is in Pisces. There's a lot of emotions happening right now, which might be why I'm on live at 11, I'm sorry, at 1 a.m. But it is what it is. My point in saying that is that this is a period of time where things are being revealed, where people who are sitting on thrones and wearing crowns and doing what they want to do, despite the fact that whether it's right or wrong or legal or illegal, they're being taken down. They're being called out and being put to the test of their accountability. Prove that you're not guilty, even though the proof is, it has to be proven that he's guilty. So the burden of proof is on the prosecution. However, spiritually, you already been found guilty. Spiritually, you are binded right now. You're behind bars. You are very limited in your access and your communications. It's called flipping the switch, flipping the script. The tables have turned, and you've had your time. You've had your time. He had time enough actually to redeem, not redeem, I won't say that, because what he did was, I don't know if you can redeem yourself from having sex with minors like that, with children. And yes, I understand this happened to him as a child. And I'm sorry that happened to him as a child. But he knows who did this to him. And yet, where's her accountability? Where's this sister's accountability for doing what she did to him? He hasn't held her accountable. Matter of fact, I'm told he's taken care of her. He has taken care of her, which means to say that he thinks that what she did was okay. He has somehow justified the fact that he was abused, molested, raped, all those things by his sister. This was said by his brother, and I think he even said this himself in his own book. Why wasn't she brought to justice for what she did? Or maybe she has, but I mean legally. No one's speaking out on her. Where is she? So by him protecting her, that says to me he thinks what she did was okay, and that's how he justifies what he has done. It don't work like that though. All right? He's not, and I'm gonna keep saying this because this is what I keep hearing. He's like Jesus. He is not. He's not Jesus. He ain't like Jesus. He's R. Kelly's Robert Sylvester Kelly, a human with faults and flaws. Just because he was famous does not mean he is not complicit. Just because he was famous does not mean he's innocent. You don't take a person's accountability out of the picture. You don't take that away from them and let them keep doing wrong because they're famous. He had a lot of influence, but he also had a lot of money. Even though he was probably spending money like running water, he was always making it because he's, a beloved singer, superstar, whatever you want to call him, all over the world. Yes, he has fans all over the world still, even with this going on. Not as many. Don't let the people on YouTube fool you and on social media fool you. We're talking a blip on the radar when it comes to people who are defending him versus people who are not. There are way more people out here who have already dismissed him. There are people who probably won't even watch this because his name is in the title and they're over him. They don't want to hear anything about him. They don't want to hear his music. They don't want to talk about him. So understand that just because you hear people barking on YouTube defending him, and I'm going to call a couple out, Sharon Wimbush, whoever the fuck she is. And she says she's biracial, but I do question whether or not she's black. And no, I don't show my face, but I have put pictures up of myself. He definitely used black magic. He used black magic within his own just life with his music, all that stuff. He been using, but he has what do they call them? A witch doctor that he works with, or that, or maybe more than one. But they can't get him out of this. They've actually, the powers that be, and I'm gonna call them, just the devils in power. They're done with him. He was allowed to do what he was doing. Don't get it twisted. He was being protected not only on ground level, and we're talking police. Okay, don't think the police weren't on his payroll, turning their head to everything that came through as far as reports and accusations. He had a lot of protection. The enablers, there's only two co-defendants right now, but there's a lot of enablers out there who have flipped on him. Don't forget that. The rumor that he was carrying around bags of videotapes of sex, of him having sex with minors, children, is true. He carried duffel bag. He carried a gym bag of videotapes everywhere he went. He went to the gym, played basketball. He went here. He went there. He had a bag of tapes with him. Why? I don't know. But I'm bringing that up to say that this is never brought up by a fan or supporter when they're defending him. You can't dismiss these things. This happened. Okay, what's her name? Lisa Van Allen, who I believe she is the girl who was in the tape with Landfair, who was the original victim, the 14-year-old in the original tape from the trial in 2008. Lisa Van Allen was the other girl who she says she was 17 at the time, which is also a minor, technically. And she is being bullied and harassed because they're saying she needs to be going to jail also. Why is it that we're taking it away off the light off of R. Kelly and putting it on this girl? She bribed. I think she got the tape. She got her hands on the tape, and then she tried to get money for it. I think that's the case with her. And yeah, there are people who took payouts. I think $250,000 was his actual price tag on his crimes. He would pay $250,000. There was an attorney, a female attorney. She would get wind of a police report. She would get wind of a public accusation, and she would contact the girl and offer her the money. And the girl would take the money. What young girl who's probably poor, who's probably thinking, oh, I'm never going to, get justice, is not going to take $250,000. Yes, I probably would take 250,000. I'm not going to take it today, but I'm just saying, if somebody did something to me that I felt like my hands were tied, my voice isn't big enough, I don't have any resources or connections to make something happen. If somebody came to me and said, you know what, it happened, but can you just not talk about it no more? I'm gonna give you this 250,000. I probably would have took it. Because money does talk. We're in the world. We're in the real world here. People have to live. And especially when you're young, gullible, and as somebody who was bamboozled by R. Kelly, brought into his web, and then abused, choked, starved, spit on, raped, given to his friends to run trains on, all that stuff. They're probably not the strongest minded person. Hopefully, Deshaun, he don't get out. He's already 52. He's facing hundreds of years if he's found guilty on, more than a couple of these charges. We're talking more than 20 years. So hopefully he is found guilty of at least a couple of these charges. I don't believe every charge is going to stand, but I do believe at least a couple will. Yeah, exactly. Lisa Van Allen, I do also believe she was a minor. They're saying she was lying, that she was not a minor at the time, that she was over 18 or 18 at least, and that she needs to go to jail. Okay, but he doesn't, but he's innocent. Exactly. And they're saying Bill Cosby, of course they're saying Bill Cosby's innocent too, so um but yeah, but I was saying that they're saying, this spiritual now because he's in jail. This is spiritual now because R. Kelly is in jail, because R. Kelly is in trouble. So now it's spiritual. No, this shit was spiritual from the get. This shit was spiritual back in 2002, 2000. And I'm gonna say this too. Speaking of 2002, So I was doing some research for this other video I was going to do. And I was reading about how he linked up or married Andrea Kelly. Well, actually, no. I think she got pregnant with their first child right before the allegations were official on him in 2002. Prior to him being actually charged, he knew they were coming. The charges were coming, just like this time around. He knew that this stuff was going on, that they were looking into him, that they were, probably going to come get him. Well, back then, he also knew before the actual charges were put on him, that before he was actually charged, excuse me, he knew the charges were coming. So I find it very interesting that, Andrea he got married, he had started having his family and all that right before he got charged. All this, like the time period before he got charged, this is when he was doing all that. And I think he was doing that to cover himself up. He wanted to look like a family man. He wanted to look good for the public. Okay. He had to change his narrative. So he got married and started having babies with her. So, and then fast forward, we have the videotape, Rashana Landfair. Rashana, I hate saying her name, but it's out there. So Rashana Landfair, who is now a grown woman, and I did actually a reading on her, and my reading said she was going to be celebrating, that she was actually going to become public, and that's where we're at. But prior to this, I think his payments to her and her family stopped in about 2015 from my research. 2015, I believe, is also the time where he met Joycelyn and Azriel around that same time period, right? I don't know. Azriel may have been a little later than Joycelyn, but I know that Joycelyn came in the picture around the time he stopped paying Rashana. And whether or not Rashana came forward because the payment stopped, to me, is not even the point. The point is that she lied in saying that it wasn't her in the tape. Her family also lied. And I even read that her father, when the judge showed the videotape of the sex porn, child porn tape in court, or actually it wasn't in court where the father saw it. They saw it in the judge's chambers, I believe, before the trial. He denied it was her while he was crying. Why was he crying? He was crying because he was watching his daughter, excuse my language, get fucked by a grown ass, dirty ass man. And what kind of man watches his child get violated on tape in front of a judge, no less, and deny it was her? A pig. That's disgusting. Like, you belong also in jail. So, all that to say is, you can't, these people, these supporters, these fans, these narratives they run with are tired, and they frustrate me because I know the other side of things, and I know that they're not acknowledging a lot of the things that are actually why he's in jail. They want to talk about Jerhonda Pace. Yes, Jerhonda Pace lied about her age. Does that give him the right to rape, choke, abuse? Did he have to have sex? You can look at a child and know it's a child. And the fact that he was already in trial for this child porn situation, meets her at the trial, takes her number, gets involved with her. He is a grown-ass man who's in trouble for doing these things, yet he does this thing. He shouldn't even know her, but he knows her. He can't, the thing is that this is all bullshit. Okay? Exactly. Jody. Oh, you're here. I think it's Jody. If it's not Jode, I'm sorry if I'm mispronounced. But yes, exactly. Just because she's not likable does not mean she's not telling the truth. Conversation. But you know what? I think, his mind has probably been stunted, because they say when you experience trauma, that your growth is actually stunted, and you stay the age, whatever age it is that you were traumatized, or whatever it is, whether it's starting, taking drugs, You know, and being that he was abused as a child, you know, he has probably had a childlike mind. Okay, Jody, thank you for that. But yeah, he has a childlike mind, but that doesn't mean, but he's a grown man, okay? He's a worldly man. He's traveling the world. He's meeting all kinds of people. He's, you know, why does he have to, he has to be a predator on the children, going to the middle schools, hanging out at middle schools and McDonald's, picking up these children. You cannot deny these things. I don't ever hear these supporters, fans talking about these things. Yeah, Dominique Gardner, you know, and Dominique, I'm just glad Dominique Gardner is out of his grasp. She was with him for a long time. Oh, there's so many people that are complicit. The music teacher, exactly. Even today, look at Greenberg, as Deshaun just mentioned. Greenberg, from what I can tell, he seems to me like an actor. He's just somebody who's out there dancing for the camera. He never knows anything. When I talked to him personally on the phone the other day about this Minnesota thing, oh, I don't know anything about it. But what can he do? He's in jail. Yeah, exactly. He went to McDonald's exactly when he was released. Where did he go? He went to the same McDonald's where he went to McDonald's. It doesn't matter which McDonald's. He went to McDonald's where he was picking up young people, okay? Young children. Like, and you know, a lot of these people, and I'm going to name Sharon Winbush again. Somebody I read in the comments said she's not being honest about how she even met him. She worked with him in the 90s, and you want to stand up for him like, you know, you're his spokesperson. I mean, I think she's claiming that she's on his team or something, but I mean, Dominique's mom being on payroll or whatever does not excuse him from doing what he did. I don't, and if her mom was complicit in getting money and okay with what he was doing, that's on her, and that's something that she got to deal with in her spirit. But with regard to Dominique and the things that supposedly happened to her, because even though she's not bashing him, so you know she has come out against him. That does not mean that he's innocent or that he is excused, okay, because her mom was getting money. Okay, so you can take that narrative and you can flush it. I'm just so tired of people blaming women, parents. I mean, you know, and like I mentioned before, yeah, there are probably some parents who, you know, they got to be questioned. They got to be put to also to be accountable. But by doing that, you're taking the responsibility and accountability away from Robert Sylvester Kelly. That is the focus. That is the topic of discussion. He is the accused. He is in jail facing how many charges? Oh, actually, I know how many charges because I have it actually written down. Let me get my notes. Let's break that down again because this is not no lighthearted situation. Okay, it's not a lighthearted situation. Yeah, it was his choice to become a predator. Okay, but like I said, him excusing his sister to me, it just says that he's excusing himself by doing that. So so right now, he's facing 21 state charges out of Illinois, 2 state charges out of Minnesota, 13 federal charges out of Illinois, and 5 federal charges. Greenberg deleted tapes. Okay, hold on. Oh, I hear you. Okay. So 13 federal charges out of Illinois and 5 federal charges out of New York. So you're talking 41 charges, okay, of 41 criminal charges. I believe mostly felonies. I don't know if they all are. Pimping your child is not excused. I'm not excusing that. But what I'm saying is when you put the focus on that, when you say, but this happened, when we're talking about R. Kelly and what he is being accused of and the things that we actually know about, yep, 41. And the things that we actually know about, we're talking about him. And then somebody comes in and says, but But her mother knew this, and they got paid for that, and this happened, and they knew, and they okay. So by doing that, you're taking the focus from R. Kelly to put it on accusers, and that's where the problem lies. Why are you? Why do you feel compelled to defend him and to put the blame or spotlight onto an accuser or a parent instead of saying, you know what, he does have a lot of charges. Um, he does have the accusations have been going on for decades. He did face a trial in 2008, and yes, he was acquitted. But guess what? We're finding out now that he bought that acquittal. He bought the acquittal, which means that acquittal should be null and void, and he should reface those charges, which he's doing. Yes, I'm shouting. Yeah, deflecting. Exactly. Stop deflecting, people. And you know what? If a fan clicked on this video or supporter, they are gone by now because I've already said things that they don't want to hear. I guarantee you that. I know some of them listen to my videos. I've heard other bloggers take something I've said and make it a point of a video, and they miss the whole point. Okay. The point is, like I said, I'm going to repeat this. 21 state charges out of Illinois, 2 state charges out of Minnesota, 13 out of federal charges out of Illinois, and 5 federal charges out of New York. 41 charges. And I hope my math is right because I'm really bad at math. But the number of charges I listed is correct. So if you get a different number, it doesn't matter. It's a high number. Yes, we did. We got him. He's locked up. And you know, I think he's still in general population. We don't really even know what really is going on behind bars, to be honest with you. There's a lot of things that happen behind the curtain, which a lot of people, you know, they won't even acknowledge or talk about because it sounds crazy. But I talk about crazy stuff because a lot of times crazy things are true things. But like Epstein, for instance, who believes Epstein really committed suicide? Did he commit suicide? Or was he murdered? Or is he alive? Did he buy his way out of jail? And is he still alive? Did they clone him? And is he, or, you know, whatever? Who knows? Same thing with R. Kelly. We haven't seen him. I think they, you know, the people who went to court at his last hearing, they claim he looked good, looked better than ever. But we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We were told he was in solitary confinement. To come to find out, he had been having cellmates that he actually was denying and acting like he was in charge. See, this is the problem. He acts like he's in charge. The house arrest thing sounds like bullshit to me too. Like, why would you allow a man to go on house arrest where his homes were where a lot of those crimes were committed? Yeah, he probably did kill himself, honestly, because he had a lot. He was going to get killed if he didn't kill himself. He probably did do it. But at the same time, we don't know. It was probably easy for someone to get in there and get him killed. Exactly. More deflecting. The house arrest stuff is the same thing. Him going on house arrest is like sending a bank robber to a bank to work. Like, no charges. And I believe it was the federal judge in Illinois who declined the bond and said that not until trial is over. So being that one judge said that, any other judge who wants to give him bond, they can. I don't think they can. And if they can, then other courthouses, that's what I mean. He's going to, if they let him out in Illinois, he'll go to New York. If they let him out in New York, he's going to go to Minnesota. Like, he's not going to just get out. And New York sure did not give him bond. So, and I think even before New York didn't give him bond, the federal judge in Illinois didn't bond. I saw something about Azriel. I'm sorry, I missed that comment, but sounded like something about Azriel, house arrest and Azriel. So if he goes on house arrest, and then only is he gonna go on house arrest, we want him to, you know, live with his girlfriends. Is he out of his mind? If R. Kelly had any sense, he would have sent them home packing or wherever they wanted to go a long time ago. But he wanted to be honorary. He wanted to be that arrogant person that he's been all this time and like laugh in the parents' face. Like, no, I'm gonna keep them. No, and then lie to the girls because it was very clear to me after the Gayle King interview where he made a fool of himself. Let's not forget that. Oh, let me make my point. Then I got something to say about that too. It was very clear to me that Azriel and Joycelyn had been lied to. That R. Kelly lied to them about the parents. Like, oh, they've been taking money from me, and oh, they said this and they did that, and they believed R. Kelly. Now, why your child would believe an R. Kelly before they would believe you is, that's subject to many, many questions because as a young adult, we all know sometimes we do, we want to get away from our parents. Like we are tired, we want our independence. And R. Kelly was providing them with, well, he wasn't really providing them with independence because they were not really independent. Oh, that's right. He said their parents. He said he admitted okay. He said that the parents sold them to him. Isn't that a crime? Wouldn't that be a crime? Even on the receiving side? Yeah, he exactly. Little black girls are for sale, and R. Kelly buys them. So he's in jail for that. Okay, he's in jail for that and all the other stuff. Whether or not that's what's on the papers, on the books, or not, spiritually, because I'm gonna keep going to that. It's a spiritual warfare. He's in there. This is karma, and he's getting what he asked for. Yes, thank you. I knew that was a crime. So he sat there on television and admitted to a crime. I'm sure the prosecution has this. I hope that they have every little detail of everything on this guy because I know that they're gonna need to, and they're being accused of piling on and lying on him and all this stuff, but they pile on the better because we don't need him wiggling out. That's probably why they didn't want him to go to Minnesota because from what I understand, they were like, he's not going to Minnesota to go to court. We got him. Okay, you need to wait. And with that being the case, good for them because he doesn't need to be going to Minnesota. Minnesota's tripping. I think they just really want clout too. Nobody's thinking about Minnesota. Prince is gone. R.I.P. Okay. You guys need to sit down. They don't want to let R. Kelly go running and roaming around and trying to go here and go there. He's where he needs to be. The whole fact that last time he went to work and then the lawyer all of a sudden wake up in the morning and said the lawyer said he was lost, he was missing. Why would the lawyer put that? Why is this in the media? First of all, you want your client to be known that he's missing when you're trying to get him bond? That's working against him. Okay, so if he gets free, he needs to be transferred to them first. Okay, I get that. But why did they have to? They made a spectacle out of that. Daryl Johnson. Yeah, they're trying to. I would never leave my daughter with R. Kelly. Like, hello. His own crisis manager admitted he would not leave his daughter with this guy. And then all of a sudden he had to resign. But come on. The proof is in the goddamn pudding. Oh yeah, they did make a spectacle. But why would Greenberg make a spectacle of that when it makes his client look bad? That's my point. And with saying that he might be a mole, there's a whole thing about the moles. They're supposed to be moles in the camps and all these things, which there probably are. But um, for you to have your attorney out here just like making you look like a dang fool, that's crazy to me. I ain't never heard of nothing like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he chose to step down, Deshaun. I think he got fired. I really do believe they told him to get the hell out of here because you making this thing, look unravel. So, but but yeah, so we need to just let the system do what it do at this point. I mean, the system is corrupt. And look, I'm not saying that there's not corruption in the system, and I'm not saying that, yeah, yeah, Greenberg is a fool, and they want to buy an acquittal. But the thing is, you can't do that. It doesn't work like that, and you know that. But I'm just saying that we need to just acknowledge that. Yeah, He thinks he's still a big boss, trying to get steaks and get a computer. He wants to do music. He probably got a studio already fixed up in there. I know they do that type of stuff in jail. They have like studios. They get online. They have their own dating profiles. Greenberg just wants the free advertising. He knows he can't win. Yeah, I've done my research on Greenberg, and he's definitely out there for clout, and he's definitely just trying to make his name, get his name out there. He admitted to um, defending the worst of the worst because it excites him to get a guilty man free. He admitted this in the past, so he basically to me said, I like to defend guilty men and try to get him off. That's what he's saying. If I see Greenberg, I will beat him down. Deshaun, you need to chill on Greenberg because he gonna get his. Okay, he's definitely gonna get his. Jody, I think Mesro doesn't want it because he doesn't need the clout. He's losing. Yeah, exactly. He's smart. Mesro's not out here chasing no clout. He done had his time in the sun, and he's looking at this case like, good luck with this. I don't want no parts of it. You don't have enough to pay me to get involved with this. And now they want to say, oh, we're going to donate $1. They want everybody to donate $1 towards the defense fund because they have to get forensics things and this and that. But they don't even. How do you do that when you don't even have a number like that they're looking to meet? So like when you raise money for something, don't you have a goal? Are we trying to raise this $50,000 for this thing? But with this case, they're just saying everybody send $1 because they know R. Kelly has a lot of fans around the world and they want to get money. Now, how do you know these attorneys are even going to use that money for R. Kelly's case? How do you know that the people who are involved in getting the money, the fundraising, aren't going to skim off the top? Like all these people are in it for the bag, period. It's all about money. Everybody needs to just sit down, let R. Kelly sit down where he's at, and let this thing play out. Period. The end. That's what needs to happen. They need to just stop with the dumb shit. Like, who the fuck are you anyway to just dismiss all the accusers like they're one person and one big lie? Y'all need to stop. You out here for clout. He's in jail where he belongs, and he'll hopefully be there for the long term. Money, power, and fame. Exactly. I'm following the case until it plays out, and I'm gonna be here with these videos and commentary, like it or not. Shame on the women, especially, and especially black women, being that we're dealing with mostly black girls, shaming the accusers and bullying them. Stop it. Fans are still denying that he has sex with a child on video when it's documented that she has admitted lying back in 2008, and she's cooperating, like it or not. Y'all want to be YouTube lawyers and trying to say R. Kelly is being kidnapped and unjustly held, and clearly the evidence is strong enough to keep him in jail until he's cleared, which he won't be, probably won't be, but yeah. Kim Fox and Michael Avenatti, and Kim Fox saying that she solicited accusers by putting that press conference out, asking people to call in, which I don't know if that was legal. They're saying that was illegal. I think if it was illegal, then that would have been known by now. But it may have been inappropriate. I don't know. But the fact is that she had cause to do it. They want to say, oh, there's no records, there's no police reports. It is documented that there have been police reports. You guys need to do your research. Read Jim DeRogatis' book. He got all the facts in the book too. She was doing her job, exactly. So Kim Fox was doing her job, and don't be mad at her for doing her job. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what she needs. She did what she felt like she had to do. And I'm sure she didn't risk her career and her livelihood by doing something illegal. Oh, she used to work in the sex crimes unit. Okay. All right. Well, so she knows what she's talking about. She knows what she's doing. She's the state attorney. Come on. But so I didn't even plan on being here this long. But I didn't know all y'all were gonna be up. Some of you guys, where are you guys at? I'm curious. I'm in Los Angeles. It's going on 2 a.m. It's about a quarter to 2, and I'm not even tired. Probably because I slept a lot of the day. But a grown man having sex with kids is not okay. Okay. Exactly. Yeah. Kim Fox is exactly. So Kim Fox is only dealing with the state case. So they're ignoring the fact that we're talking feds here. I'm sorry, Deshaun, I missed that. I'm gonna have to go back in the chat to see some of these comments. But Charlotte, North Carolina. What time is it there, Ree? I'm curious. I don't know. Is it 3? You guys are a couple hours ahead of me, maybe? Because you guys are up. It's late. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, a grown man having sex with kid is not okay. Period. The docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, Louisiana, Philly. Okay. Okay. Shout out to y'all for being here. Sweden, 4:38. Okay. Wow. What are you doing up so early? Are you up early or are you up late? Did you already get up for the day or are you up late and haven't been to bed yet? I'm just nosy. I just want to know, like, am I the only one who just stays up all night? Sometimes I'll be up because I just, Canada, shout out to you, Kathleen. Thank you for being here. But so the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly did his job. 1:39. Oh, you don't sleep either, Jody? 10 a.m. Oh, you're up early. Dang. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. But yeah, like I was saying, the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly did its job. Mute R. Kelly and Time's Up did their job. You think people are going to put together a whole organization to take down somebody or to, make sure somebody's accountable for their crimes for no reason? Deshaun, where are you at, Deshaun? 4 a.m. They're not going to do that for no reason. Okay. People put a lot of time, effort, money into these organizations and to their efforts to make sure that he is where he is now. And they did their job. Okay, well, you get your worm. Okay, Ree. You're right. The early bird does get the worm. I actually do like getting up when it's really early in the morning and it's a beautiful time. Chicago. Oh, you're in Chicago? No wonder. Okay, that makes sense. I'll be DMing you. Okay. I have some things to ask you. What worm are you getting? Are you going to church? It's Sunday morning. But I just want to shout out everybody who was involved in doing their job, whether it's Dream Hampton and the people behind the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly. Okay. People have been at this since the 90s. They gave their life trying to get the truth. Exactly. I shout out everybody who was, put the time, effort, money behind getting this case or this man where he is now. 5 a.m. Dinner. Okay, you're on it. I heard that, Ree. Well, God bless you. um, he was doing in the dark is now in the light, and it's gonna stay in the light until it's over. And hopefully, they're gonna find him guilty of one or more of these counts, and he's gonna get sentenced to several years. Oh yeah, when Rashana hits the sand, I think, and she's the one of the federal defendants, I believe. Which, thank you, Ree. Which is not televised, of course, but I think the state case in Illinois, if that does actually happen, at the end of the day, was already okay to be televised. So I'm really actually hoping that case does happen so that we could see all of this play out on camera. Although that sometimes is there's a downside to that. Just like the Trayvon Martin trial, for instance. I was on that trial every day, and it was heartbreaking. Yeah, we got to prayer. Look, we all have to come together too. Good point, Deshaun. Oh, Kelly's lawyer. Of course, his lawyer wanted to televise. He wanted to be on the stage. It is hard for the victims, especially in this type of case. If the victims do are televised, I don't know if they would televise the victims, but I would want to see just the fact that he's in court, and just to see all this grandstanding and see how this all plays out. These accusations are not new. We've said this. Um, they also have a sperm match. I don't know if you guys knew that, but part of the evidence, and this is part of the letter that was written by the prosecution, one of the prosecutors, I think the Angel Kroll, prosecutor Angel Kroll, which is, I believe, the federal prosecutor. Actually, she might be a state prosecutor. I'm sorry if I'm confusing that, but they are original, Jody. They think that they can get him off with all this Yahoo and all on YouTube or whatever. But the attorney's letter to the judge stated that they should not let him. You know, this was a plea for them not to let him out on bond, and in that letter, they gave many reasons why, and Rashana Landfair was one of the reasons. Okay, she's the federal. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Assistant U.S. Attorney. Oh, okay. Yeah, the DNA match, exactly. So one of the things listed in the letter was Rashana Landfair, and the fact that she was in the original tape. She was coerced originally, and she's at risk of being coerced again, as well as the other accusers also. And the fact that there's a DNA match of sperm for one of the accusers also. And I'm not sure if it's the hairdresser. Yeah, the hair braider. I'm thinking it might be, I don't know if it was Geronda, but I think it was the hair braider who had the DNA on her clothes or whatever. I think that's the one that they have that was the one that was listed. I think that was related to her. And that's strong evidence. I've seen people comment, fans, supporters, and maybe it's my fault for being, I'm just nosy, and I watch these videos of these people who are on the opposite side. Um, she probably did testify to save her family. I believe that also. But I'm just glad, whatever the reason is, I'm glad she stepped forward. But some of the narrative that these fans or supporters are running with, as far as like that DNA match, for instance, is that anybody can, have had his sperm. He might have, ejaculated while they were, at play, and they saved it because they knew they were going to do this someday. Geronda had a match too. Oh, okay. They might want to get her from her parents because if she talked. Yeah. I mean, the parents, I think, also testified to the grand jury, if I'm not mistaken. It's her and the parents that testified and have admitted to lying previously and who are all cooperating. If they have more than one DNA match, that's really strong. That's really good news. And even if they have just the one, that's enough as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I think the family is also cooperating. So, I just encourage people. Oh, that girl has seen a lot. If she wrote a book, okay, or they made a movie, I'm telling you. I suggest, though, that if they do, which I know this probably won't happen, but if R. Kelly gets out on house arrest, for instance, they need to live stream him like they do Big Brother with sound and everything, which actually he might actually be excited about that. He would probably play himself if they did that and do what he usually does, which is have sex with minors on film. The family should go. I agree that the family should go to jail because how are you going to, they literally sold that girl. Poor Sparkle. She's the only family member coming out, making herself get hated out here. People hate her, coming out here defending her niece. I take no money. Exactly. Somebody peeing. No, he did not just pee on her, Kathleen. He peed in her mouth. Okay. I never watched the tape, but I've read enough. And Jim DeRogatis, who wrote the book, who was the reporter, who had the tape, he says he believes Barry Hankerson, Aaliyah's uncle, gave him that tape. Homeless lady he raped, Tasha K. I don't know about a homeless lady. Yeah, in her mouth, not just on her. He probably cut the house arrest off and leave. I think he would have too much attention on him to just be able to dip out. I don't know if he could just like leave, but and he don't have enough money, because if he had enough money, he could just like get another somebody to what is that movie Face Off, where they had replaced the faces so they can pointed out her face and gave lemonade. Okay, this chat is moving so fast, but I encourage you fans or supporters, if you actually listen to this, read the documents. Okay. Um, Ew, in her mouth. The lady that, oh, okay, I don't know about her. I have to look that up. I don't think I've read about that. Okay. Well, he also has that history too, that knowingly giving STDs out. He has that civil case. He actually lost on default, but they actually he was in jail at the time. I think he was served about the hearing, and they said he couldn't read the documents, so they actually allowed him to get out of that default judgment. But there's a lot of people out here accusing him of the same crimes. Lisa Van Allen said, the prosecutor said, or her father. Oh, she cried too, because I know her father cried while watching that tape also. Yeah, I saw Tasha K's exposés. I thought I saw all of them. Oh, you know what? Maybe I missed. I might have missed them. Missed the one you're talking about. Yeah, the dad. Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. That's what I was saying. The dad cried. You're tired. I'm tired too. I'm getting tired. Okay, the dad. Yes, the dad cried, and as he should have, and he should have cried because he's going to hell. He really is a disgusting person. Well, I appreciate you hanging with me, Kathleen. I know I'm tired. I'm getting tired too, just because I'm exerting a lot of energy by just trying to shed light here on things that people are missing. And I know not you guys, because you guys are very smart. Absolutely horrifying. You guys are clearly smart people. But there's people out here who want to, they just want to have their head in the sand because they admire somebody, because they believe somebody, because of his fame, because of his notoriety, his influence as a superstar, I guess you can say. And Deshaun, you're in Chicago. I don't know if you're still here. In Chicago, is he still the king of Chicago, or are people actually acknowledging that he's, um, guilty? I yeah, exactly. I don't believe all of them either, but I mean, I believe some of the women, and I do feel really bad for the ones who are coming out. Um, I really feel bad for them. That it takes a lot of courage to come out publicly when something like that has been happened to you. Something, these things are shameful. Someone, you know, being raped, being violated, sexually violated or otherwise, and especially by someone famous with a lot of fans. And these fans, they need to stand down. Like, they're harassing and bullying people and doing just out of pocket. Some people think he didn't do it, but a lot of people believe it. Okay, well, that's good to know, because I was wondering if Chicago was still like putting him on a pedestal, or are they being quiet? But good to know that people do believe it. I'm sure they've heard stories, or probably even know people or knew people in their lifetime that something has happened to behind this dude. So, there was a video that Since Day One had put up, and it was a video of Joycelyn's friend, a good friend of Joycelyn's, who spoke about how she watched her friend um, get sucked into R. Kelly's world, and how she changed. She lost contact, and just her whole testimony about the change in her friend was heartbreaking. My friend's mother told me someone at her job knows the people. I'm sure in Chicago people know people. There's probably people in Chicago who know things that could help this case, who will never speak and never come forward because they're afraid. But this is where your faith comes in. If and everyone doesn't believe in a higher power or God. Everyone doesn't. But this is where that is important. If you when to have faith is to know that you're going to be okay no matter what, that you're never alone, and that right is right and wrong is wrong. And when you stand for right, you're good regardless of what happens to you on this in this earth realm. When you stand for right and you stand up and you speak out, you're good. Okay, realize that we're here in body. Our spirit never dies. So when you leave this earth, you still have, you're going to be answering for things and dealing with consequences of actions and decisions. So if you know something that could help this case, you need to come forward, okay? He's in jail, yes. He has mountains of evidence stacked against him, yes, but more the merrier. So bring your testimony to the table, please. All right, y'all. I know you guys are tired. I'm getting tired. My bro at work, he doesn't care about R. Kelly, told me he read the book. Yeah, that book has everything in it. How can they get him? Okay, he was fine. I'm sorry. Can you say that again, Canada? I was molested. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Lisa. Oh, wow. I'm so sorry to hear that, but good. You survived it. Tell me that again, Kathleen. I'm sorry, Kathleen. I missed that. You were wondering something. If somebody else saw what Kathleen put, can you answer her? Because I didn't see it. Um, but yeah, I just encourage everybody who, with their head in the sand, get your head out of the sand. If you're gonna speak out publicly, I don't really care if you believe R. Kelly and you are his fan and you don't believe the accusers. That's your business, and that's fine. But to come out publicly and to make YouTube videos and to harass people on Twitter and things like that, and to do this thing publicly, that's just not right. Okay, there's just too much, and it just makes you look pretty dumb, honestly. To me, I'm looking at you like you stupid. You believe this clown? And people who praise Greenberg for his amazing work. Okay, Greenberg is not an amazing lawyer. He's a clown. So stop getting on YouTube and bashing these women and claiming the truth that they're lying. If you know so much about how these people are lying, why aren't you involved in the case? Where's your proof? This is what they like to say. Where's the proof? Where's the proof? Well, the proof is out there. You just got to find it. It's being handled in the courts. If you do recall, they did seal the evidence, and I think it was the federal Illinois federal case. But the evidence was sealed by the judge, so you're not gonna hear no proof until after the trial, or because we're not gonna get live coverage of that federal trial. But when you when the time comes publicly that we know already, and we're running with these things, okay, because that's what we're doing. That's what we have against him. We've been waiting for this to happen. I know I stopped listening to him a long time ago. I think after the Aaliyah marriage, I was like, oh hell no. And I loved Aaliyah's first album, but he's all over it. I can't even listen to it. The state court is not charging him on charges. The state court, which the Illinois state court, I think you mean, Jody. What are the charges on the Illinois state court? Let's see, Illinois state. It's uncovering. Yes, uncovering season. This is definitely, and I'm calling the revelations. Look how Michael is doing. He got everything. Oh, Michael. Okay, I got you. Sexual assault, and the old charges were for porn. Okay. Okay. Well, look, he is where he is. All this stuff is going on. The defense has a lot of work to do. Well, the prosecution too. I mean, there's a lot of work to do on both sides. But do you think he'll get his house? No, I do not think that he'll get house arrest. I do not believe that he will. I strongly do not think he will. And if a judge thinks he's going to give him house arrest without another judge stepping in and getting him in his jail, they got something to think about. You got to live. I heard about actually. I heard about Aaliyah being pregnant also, and that he also abused her. Yeah. So we just need to all pray also. We need to stick together as one, like these fans or supporters are trying to do. But we need to all be on one accord as far as just staying true to what we know, which is that he is a monster. Okay. They can charge him again for Rashawn London. In Canada, you can't if he's found innocent. I'm confused on the federal charges. Okay, regarding Rashana, so they're charging him for coercion, of what I understand, and because he's being found. They're saying that when it's true, he paid her off and her father. He is a demon. Yes, I believe he's being charged in the federal case for Rashana. Okay, yes, I believe that is the case, and it's not double jeopardy when you when it gets proven that the victim was paid off and the family was paid off and they lied. And that's how not and even before he was acquitted, the judge reduced the charges down. Team Truth. He reduced the charges down, and I think he took out the porn charge off the case. Like, he made it very easy. The judge made it very easy. That judge needs to also be held accountable, as does that prosecuting team. I think he can never here. It can never go to court again, no matter what. Oh, I see. Wow. Well, I mean, I think that what they're doing now is legal. I don't think they could, have him up on these charges if it was illegal here for them to do that. The judge had a huge party. Wow, I did not know that. And he invited everybody involved and was taking pictures with people. Sick, definitely. Yeah, so that judge, we need to talk to that judge. I want to know what the fuck he was thinking. Like, sorry for the language, but that pisses me off because I read about that whole case and I just felt like the whole time they had lined his pockets anyway. Bribery. Okay, let's face it. Chicago is a mafia town, okay? A mafia city. And it's full of, all of the US is full of corruption. All of these systems are corrupt. Let's just get that out there. But Chicago has a special type of corruption value to it. And yeah, there's so much corruption. There's been corruption. I think that city was just started with corruption. So our county, this the whole time they were looking out for him, like he was paying people off. Now he doesn't have the money to do that now, and also it's a different time. This is a different time today. Okay, we as women, we now have voices and platforms. There's movements out there to protect us. The jury couldn't prove it. I mean, it wasn't that the jury couldn't prove it. There was actually one of the jurors who spoke out and said he didn't believe the girls because they were black. Okay. So we got race involved. Exactly. They don't trust Chicago State Court. Boom. There it is. There it is. And Kim Fox, I don't, she's the state attorney, so she's not involved on the federal side. But, I do trust that wherever she can lend her part, she's going to do it and make sure it gets done. But I think, what we're looking at here, when you lay everything out, he has to be accountable for a couple of these things. Okay. He's not going to get off on everything. There's no way. I don't see it. They let him go in 2008. Yeah, it was a damn shame. Think he's gonna get off on all these things? Is that he's innocent? I'm really curious to know why you think so. I don't understand how anybody can think he's completely innocent. Yeah, he's completely innocent, and uh, he's gonna get off on everything. Okay. Well, I'm glad to know y'all have some sense. I'm just curious because there are people who think that I guarantee you I'm going to get some comments on this video. Yeah, hopefully not Jody. I hope he doesn't get off on any of it. But I'm sure there's going to be a couple of things here and there maybe that may get dropped. I know the song. I saw you said this the last time. So you're talking. Um, I'm locked up. You can't get me out. I can never show compassion for a man who urinated on a 14-year-old girl. And let's keep clarifying on a 14-year-old girl because he might have been on a 14-year-old girl, but it was also in her mouth. Okay. That's a whole other level of just disgust. I'm locked up. I'm sure he's in there singing and singing and singing away. I'm sure he's trying to just mesmerize the inmates just as he has some of these fans out here. And that's what I say to them is that you're mesmerized. You can't even see the truth. The ones they think he should be like, oh, have no empathy. They just want to grab onto the fame train. Exactly. And that's another point that I've made in the past. I'll make it again today. A lot of the women, specifically women who don't believe the accusers, who shame them and bash them, they don't have empathy because they don't have self-worth. When you don't have self-worth, you don't think you deserve to be treated a certain, in a good way. And so if you don't feel like you should be treated well, then you definitely aren't going to feel any type of way about another woman being treated badly because you think that's the right thing to do. You think that's okay because you don't have any type of confidence in your own self, like I said, self-worth, that you will um, about yourself. So you can't feel empathy for other people. So with that being said, I'm saying just love yourself. Love yourself, and maybe you can learn to love others and have compassion and empathy for other people. Tasha K says something about the R. Kelly like boys. Oh yeah, that's a whole other topic. I mean, I try to stay away from the whole gossip rumor side of all of this. But yeah, it's out there that he has a gay lover, that, I think he's on Instagram. You can, right, see you later, alligator. But yeah, there rumors are out there that he's also bisexual. I won't say bisexual. He's just a pervert who also rapes boys. They said he had a sexual relationship with Azriel's brother. That's also another thing. I think since day one posted something about that. But that's out there also. That Azriel's younger brother also had sexual relations with R. Kelly. Um, there's a lot of rumors and stuff out there. Like I said, when you become an adult and you have all this baggage and these issues, you get help. Go see a therapist. Go to a rehab, a retreat, something. Go fix yourself. But don't take it out on everybody else. Yeah, real nasty. All right, y'all. It's 2:15. I think I'm gonna wrap it here, but I appreciate you guys so much. If you're new here, can you subscribe and like this video? I appreciate it. Everybody in here like this video. That would be very awesome. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna be back soon. He was never willing. Awful. I'll be back soon with another video. I'll probably be going back live Thursday night. I'm going to make Thursday night my thing. Yeah, hit that bell. That's right, Deshaun. Thank you, Ree. I appreciate you so much. Get some sleep, y'all. And Ree, you have a great Sunday. I know your dinner is going to be delicious. Yeah, he needs to get help. Exactly. He should have gotten help, but he didn't because he thinks and still probably thinks, he thought and still probably does think today that he's the shit and that nobody can touch him. And I'm sure he's feeling himself right now like I'm getting out any day. And he probably believes, everything that whoever is feeding him. But thank you, Deshaun. I know you're up for the day too, Kathleen. You enjoy your Sunday. Thank you, you guys. Till next time, y'all. Peace.